Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Temur Eldrazi Ramp on the play for game one. We have a few lines available to us that I like here. Forest, Sprawl, for red, pass, and pass. Sacred Foundry, Shock, Ragavan, Imprint, and pass. K command, X equals 2. Guide of Souls resolves. Are you short on lands? No. Draw. Sowing Myco spawn. And I'm tempted to just K command X2 again. Alternatively, I can Sowing Myco spawn and ramp. And then I suppose just mana neutral to K command. That's a thought. Getting a body on board. Fetch, they'll surveil. Theater, some Mardu. Interesting. Bowmaster's to yard. In response. Guide of Souls down. We have a body on board. There's Arid Mesa. Passing. Draw. Forest. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kick, Sowing Myco spawn. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. Am I still over? What's happening here? No. Don't like playing Sephiroth, so we'll get rid of that now. And then E-Temp. So next turn we do have Ugin. Shadow Backstreet, Surveil Trigger. And if Ugin can hit board, it's game over, I think. Bombardment. Why had they been Bombardment? They could flip the Johnny. Arena of Glory. Sephiroth? Yep, so I was right. You sacrifice the cat, drain me. Triggers a Johnny. A Johnny. And draw. Return Ugin to hand. I will exile Sephiroth. Zero. Stomping Ground Shock. Ugin. Hit the cat. Attack a Johnny. 4 cards in hand. GG's. Alright. We'll cut Karn. Cut Ghost Quarter. Forget whether or not I recommend bringing in Dismember at this point. No, that's right. We were going a different route with EE Trinosphere. And then on the play, bring in Chalice. Right. I wonder if maybe bringing in Dismember might be right for Sephiroth. That is tricky about that. Between Voice of Victory, Clarion Conqueror. I'm gonna mulligan this hand. I mean, we have 9... Okay, so let's pause for a second. We have 9 hits off the top for Forest or Forest equivalent. Beside that, K Command X1 would be okay, so 8 hits. Yeah, we'll keep it. Blood Crypt, Shock, Thoughtseize, Ragavan. Ragavan's an issue. Draw, Forest, yes. Forest, Fetch. Forest, Sprawl. Red, Pass. And pass. Worst case scenario here is a Molten Rain on 2. Ragavan hit. Finds. Emrakul. You're not casting that, that's for sure. Land, fetch. Sacred Foundry, shock. Plains. Well, that's unexpected. Oh, Thraven Charm, son of a... E-Temp, pass. Now we're in trouble. Arena of Glory, Ragavan hit. Return, that's fine. You want to cast it? You can cast it, just saying. Just saying, putting it out there. I don't want that return. Johnny triggers. Yeah, that's a problem. Breeding Pool. Breeding Pool doesn't do enough. Shit. Oh, we're in trouble now. 3, 4, 5. We'll go Breeding Pool tapped. Three. That Thraven Charm really hurt. Sephiroth? You can't haste Sephiroth because you need the black, yeah. Sack the cat token. Flip the Johnny. I feel like you should have attacked first, though. Am I crazy for thinking that? Plus a Johnny. 6, the 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got it. Won't concede. Oofta. That is what that was. They run like 2 Thraven Charms as well, so for them to have that on 2 was just rough. Bring in the Chalice, cut the Gemstone, run it back. Yeah, because if we were allowed to go Chrysalis into Chrysalis and just ramp out of control into an Ugin, we would have been in a perfect position. Rumble. We'll keep. Six in hand. Lab, imprint, pass, and pass. 3. Draw, Forest, Trinosphere, pass. Have fun with that. Shelly Backstreet, trigger. Was it on top? Pass. Sacred Foundry, tapped and passing. Draw. Chrysalis. Stomping Ground, shock. Chrysalis, pass. And hold. Vindicates, rude. Draw. Land. Rumble. Sowing Mycospawn. Combat for 2. And hold. Surprised they didn't just vindicate the Trinisphere. Interesting. Arena of Glory. 3. Ajani. Passing. Draw. Their Trinisphere. Kick the Mycospawn. We don't have to worry about them casting anything. I will go E-Temp. Always yield. And hold. No attacks. Sephiroth. Obnix. Oh, that was unexpected. So you can Obnix, but since it was a 0, and then ping the Mycospawn, yeah. Draw, Talisman. Attack, Ajani. Trigger. Deals 1 damage to me. And pass. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll pitch the Trinisphere. Sephiroth. Or not. What are you doing? Yeah, the Obnix was unexpected. Vindicate. Takes out the E-Temp. 3. 11. Draw. Chrysalis. Actually, yeah, Chrysalis. Attack. Ajani. Trigger 1, trigger 2. Trigger 1, trigger 2. Rumble. Engineered Explosives is looking appealing, but I can't play it for 0's the problem. I can play it for 2, get rid of a Johnny. I can go Breeding Pool. Yeah, Trinisphere actually hurting me a bit here. Four, five, six. Breeding pool. Tapped. Yeah, kind of stuck in a rock, between a rock and a hard place now. And we slow them down significantly with the Trinisphere. In response, and Vaughn scoops it up. Alright, I'll take the win. Trying to think what their thought process was there. I mean, we grow the Chrysalis. We just keep on attacking in. I guess at some point they just aren't able to sustain. We cast our Myco Spawn. Interesting. Alright, well, I will take it. We'll be back for match 2. Alright, we're back for match 2 on the play, or sorry, on the draw for game 1. Looking at a K command, X2 on 2. I'd love to be able to get to Chrysalis, but it's not looking likely for a bit, so we're angling for the Myco Spawn. Thoughtseize, its command. In that case, we're probably going to start off with, maybe still the temp is right, yeah. If they don't take the command, I'll have a lot of questions. Yep, there's the command as expected. Ugin Labs a whiff, we'll pass. And pass. Shock, Watery Grave for a Froge. I'd like a K command off top, please. Talisman's not it. If I go Commercial District, I can't play the Talisman. So in that case, playing the Temple, Talisman, Force check. No force. And pass. White Ketra. So Ketra Frog. Frog will attack. The 19. Ketra can't attack yet. We need Ugin, K command to deal with Ketra now. This Bog is really a dead card. We don't want to be playing it. Draw. Sire. Interesting. We do want Sire on board. Ugin Lab, Imprint. So we have 6. We can kick the Watery Grave. No reason to imprint the Sire then. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, no. So in that case, 2, 4, 6, yes. No imprint. I guess the one benefit of the imprint would have been as Thoughtseize protection. Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. Flooded Strand, fetch, down to 15. And I'll snap block the frog if they don't float. Hollowed Fountain, shock to 13. Fatal Push. exile, draw. Actually, now's the best time for me to Bajuka Bog. Actually, no, they'll just pitch the frog, right? So yeah, Commercial District plays that this bog is kind of just trapped until Ketra's online. Flying. Prismatic ending. Well, that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Commercial District. I did consider that as a potential threat. On top. Pass. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Land. Polluted Delta. So what they can do is they can pitch up a card to Frog, and then Ketra. There is a world where I might need a Writhing Chrysalis instead of Cyrus 7 Deaths. Pitch. 7, 10. So no, we can Sire instead here. Yeah, I guess given the fact that they only had one blue source, probably going for an E-Temp may have been the better play. Jukabog, target you, and pass. Solitude, Sire, Trigger, pay 7, on the 4, Efem. I'm up to 17. 17, 13, or rather, yeah, 13 plus 3, 16, float, draw. Yeah, they have lethal on board. Yeah, so in retrospect, I think what I should have done is instead of grabbing the Cavern of Souls, I should have instead grabbed the E-Temp. It would have allowed me to play the Sire a turn sooner. Draw. Sprawl. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're short on Emrakul then. We can block the frog. We can block Solitude. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm forced to block the frog. Sack and response. Always yield. Marsh Flats fetch down to 10. Again, I'm forced to block the Solitude. I'm forced to block the frog. Flip the frog. 3 in hand. Phase change. Go to blocks, block, and block. Set blockers. Sack, trigger. Pitch. Pass and full at this point. I need a land off top, and maybe I might be able to make it work. Down to 2. Draw. Nope, that's another Utopia Sprawl. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And concede. Murktide. Yeah, so in most cases, getting the Cavernous Souls down is kind of a no-brainer in this matchup, because counterspell. Right? You want your stuff to resolve. But given the circumstance, maybe it was right to go for the E-Temp to play around the Prismatic ending. Yeah. It may have been right to do so, unfortunately. Also realizing I want Ghost Quarters and not Bog. Run that back again. Yeah, Bog is awkward in this matchup because of Ketra. Awkward. Yeah, because there's very little way for them to counter the Sire on the following turn since they had no other blue sources. So I think it was right to E-Temp instead of the Cavern. Even though that would mean that then we wouldn't have been able to cast the Chrysalis until we cast the Utopia Sprawl. Yeah. Kind of awkward no matter how I cut it. Because at least the Cavernous Souls then gave me the option for both Chrysalis and Sire. Yeah, I'm not sure. Either ways, on the play for game 2. We'll keep Misty Rainforest, pass. Put a pause on end step. Swamp, Thoughtseize. Takes the Myco spawn, I'd imagine. There's also maybe a world where the E-Temp into Wastegate was the right turn 1 play, just because that way we could have then gone for a K-Commit X2 on 2. Actually, no, we didn't have a second temple. Never mind. E-Temp and pass. And pass. We'll basically time lock them here if they play a frog. Emperor Bones eats the Soin Myco spawn. Same idea, we'll just kind of time lock them. Breeding Pool, shock. And bounce. And pass. Polluted Delta. Fetch. I'm gonna guess Ketra here. Shock 12. Bones. Hold up blue. Exile the land. Yep. World break. Go to combat. Early damage against the Ketra deck is always beneficial. force check. I'm gonna go Ugin Lab. Ugin Lab, Imprint Breaker. Basically this way we Thoughtseize proof our hand. On end step we'll turn it. Would love to be able to have the Sanctum on board though. Witch Blessed. White Orchid targets. In response, we return. Yes. For Forest. And hold. Emperor Bones. Takes the Rumble, down to 1 type in yard. We can no longer attack because of White Orchid, which is a bit unfortunate. We'll take the 2 down to 14. Draw. K command. Go after your blue source. Do you have a consigned memory? You do. Annoying. Pass and fold. No attacks. Full hold. I mean, they could Emperor Bones and adapt the World Break. Not the end of the world, though it is annoying, admittedly. Yep. Do you adapt? You do not. We'll take the 2 down to 12. You have a consign out of hand. There's Ketra. And we're going to basically force check. Actually, is there a reason to force check? Not if only 1 blue. Yeah, I guess we go to upkeep then, but I do want to trigger the Sanctum 5. Draw. Okay, return. Interesting. Sanctum. They also play Ephem as the thing. This almost is more reminiscent of like Esper Blink. Yeah, so I'm gonna classify this as Blink instead of Murktide. I will attack. Ephem. In response. Ephem's no longer a legal target. I feel like they would have consigned that. One, two, three, four, five, six. So I can't go for the Sanctum trigger. So I'm just going to fire this off then. There's Drifter, Talisman, Worldbreaker, Chrysalis. Thinking bottom, top, and top. And pass. And pass. Archive, trigger. Draw. Forest. I haven't seen an Overlord of the Baelmerk, but I'm a bit afraid that they do have one. 5, 6, 7. Draw 2. Trigger 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, yes. For Emrakul. No. And pass. In retrospect, probably should have waited to play a land for the exact reason that we could have drawn into the lab. So yeah, I think this is more akin to Esper Blink than anything else. Pass in full. There's the Froge. And Witch Enchanter. Draw. Combat. Do you want to float the frog? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll be able to play the World Breaker next turn, or this turn rather, still. Basically, I'm just trying to see if they want to float the frog before we attack it with the Null Drift. And then in response, before blockers, we'll K-return. Opponent's tinkin'. What you tinkin' about? Trigger on the stack. I'm actually just gonna fight us off now. Down to 1. Ugin Lab, Imprint. So this is 7-11, so we can't cast that. We couldn't have cast the Emrakul, but I can definitely cast the World Break. We'll go for blue. Opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win. Okay, so yeah, I think I need to reframe what matchup it is. I thought this was more akin to Esper Murktide. It looks like it's more akin to Esper Blink. So we do want Bojuka Bogbout. We can cut the Emrakul, but that also means we want Consign to Memory or the Wastegate Battle Mage. Actually, no, we want Wastegate. What's my sideboard look like? Hold on. Blink, blink, blink. That's right, we actually can bring in everything. We haven't seen Overlord, which is weird. And we cut 1 Emrakul, all Karns. That's right, all 3 Chrysalis. Okay. I like this. Yeah, we surprisingly have a lot for this matchup. On the draw. There's Gemstone, there's Temp. Gemstone, I'm going to exile the Commercial District and hold. And hope they don't have a Thoughtseize on 1. And take this archive. Also a little bit worried about a whatchamacallit, White Orchid Phantom onto passing, draw, Ugin. Yeah, I think we just go Misty Rainforest and pass and hold the Dismember in case of a White Orchid. That way next turn we can K command X equals 2 and try and ramp into Ugin. Fetch Marsh Flats for Godless Shrine Swamp. Thoughtseize. Yeah, Thoughtseize resolves. I imagine you take the K command. It is a bit unfortunate, admittedly. Yep. I guess the question is raised, like, is the K command X, was the K command X1 worth the possibility of getting hit by, whatchamacallit, White Orchid? Draw, Wayscape. I know about the temp. We'll go Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. They're holding up blue for a consign. And we'll hold. I know about the Dismember, so I'm doubtful they play into it. I mean, no matter what they play, we can just time walk them. Let's Strand fetch to 16. Godless Shrine Shock. Ketra. Do we even need to Dismember right now? We don't, right? Ketra resolves, no Dismember. And draw. Do I need to E-temp? If I want to hold up Dismember, I do. So E-temp. And blue. Is that we'll just time walk them? And pass, hold Dismember. White Orchid Phantom. Target E-temp. Yeah, that was expected. And hold. Draw. K command. Well, that's unfortunate timing. Verdant Cat. And hold. Yeah. That was unfortunate. Paying cost for Ketra. Go to combat. 2 in the air. End step. Dismember, black, colorless, or generic Phyrexian mana, Ketra down, Solitude. Okay. I mean, this is fine. Rooting Pool tapped. And hold. You have to be joking me. We'll pass in full. Yeah, the White Orchid really hurt. Another Catra. 3 in exile. Take 2, down to 14. And draw. There we go. Maiko, do you have a consign? E-temp and hold. And hold. Paying cost for... Exile's a creature they control and their graveyard. Strategic Betrayal from Tarkir. Interesting. I remember seeing people talk about that card. Yes. So they draw only one. So it's not separate steps, basically. Down to 8. I could have saved the Maiko spawn, but I think 4, 5, 6 is more important. They got this K command out. And get a spawn. So let's hope they don't have a consign. They do not. This is mana neutral. Do we want it though? Not sure we do. Sanctum. Draw. Sanctum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Target Ketra. Paying cost for consign. Son of a... I was hoping that by the fact that they did not consign the command that maybe that could have resolved. In retrospect, maybe the Sire 7 Deaths was the better option. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're short. 10, 11. No. Pass. Yeah, maybe playing the Cyrus 7 Deaths was right. It was uncounterable. The thing is, if we had gotten that, then we could have K-Command X3 afterwards. Exile the White Orchid, make spawns, set up. Hard to say. Because it's also possible they just would have solituded the Sire. Right now, we're looking at going to 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here's the problem. If I exile the Ketra, then the White Orchid kills me. Paying cost, White Orchid. It's the Sanctum. Yes, that's fine. Draw. Forest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can attempt to exile Ketra. Or do we exile the White Orchid? I mean, as long as one White Orchid stands, it doesn't matter. So we'll attempt to exile Ketra. Done. Sire 7 deaths. Yeah, the Solitude. Solitude, Ethem, or a Fatal Push wins them the game is the problem. Flicker Wisp, we'll get them there. Yeah, so maybe the right move was to play the Sire 7 deaths while they still had mana up, because that way they wouldn't have been able to counter it. At most, they would have been able to Flicker Wisp it, to Solitude it, etc., right? And then that allowed me follow up for the Ugin later? Maybe. I was just thinking, since they allowed the K command, while it wasn't horribly impactful, maybe they would have countered it, but maybe as it wasn't impacting their board state, they weren't as inclined to do so, and so in their mind, which I think is the right philosophy, it's better for them to counter whatever I'm going to cast than counter the K command in that instance, unless it allows me to double cast, in which that case it didn't. So maybe just holding, or playing the K command, or holding the K command and then playing a Sire would have been right. Yeah, I think maybe I just missequenced there. Alright. Well, it is what it is. We'll be back for match 3. Alright, and we're back for match 3 on the draw for game 1. This one's a bit interesting. Go Windswept of Teeth, Fetch, Commercial District, Sanctum of Ugin, Malevolent Rumble. Flooded Strand, passing. Null Drifter, pass. So now a Lab off top will be pretty good. Utopia Sprawl is also pretty good. A little bit worried that this could be... Nope, I was worried about it's going to be Storm, but looks like it is Energy. All the more reason why I would love a Lab off top. Commercial District trigger. I'm going to put that on top. I'm kind of short on mana. Sanctum of Ugin. I will go with an E-Temp. And pass. And hold. Pride trigger. Did they miss their land drop? Because if so, that's rather important. They did. That's actually pretty huge. Command. Talisman and hold. Trigger. Yeah, if they ran a one-lander, then it's GG's. Uses the energy, targets, in response. Two, four, five, six. Forest, kick, Mycospawn. I was so sure you had it, didn't even bother attacking to fall. I did telegraph it pretty hard. We'll go with E-Temp and pass. 4, 7. I mean, I think going Misty Rainforest Karn into Trinisphere locks them out of the game. Misty Rain, fetch. And shock. Yeah, opponent goes, yeah, my one lander isn't going to get me there. Let's go to 2. Yeah, especially with Karn into Trinisphere, that will be a Trini lock. Because next turn we go for Liquimetal Coating, and that just locks him out of the game. GG's. Alright. Yeah, we definitely could have played our game 3 against Blink a bit better. I should have played around the consign in retrospect. So we'll bring in the EE, we'll cut the Ghost Quarter, and run it back. Yeah, once I saw the missed land drops, I knew we were in a really good position. All right. I'll keep it. Fetch would be ideal. Green source is the next best thing, though. Draw. Verdant Cat, perfect. Put a pause on end step. Fetch, Windswept Teeth. The fact they've missed both games turn 1 plays has been really significant for me. Arid Mesa, fetch. Voice of Victory probably the worst case scenario. Johnny's fine. We sweep that all day. We'll sweep at sorcery speed as per usual for Johnny. We do not want to mess around with an instant speed Galvanic Discharge. Utopia Sprawls, not going to cut it. I really need lands here. 2 types in yard is nice though. I might actually tuck the Ugin instead of the Emrakul. Yeah. And pass. I'm a little bit worried about a Charmaw, admittedly. Molten Rain would also be pretty rough. Bolt. And Molten Rain, yeah. Well, I was a bit concerned about that. Draw. In that case, I'm thinking we go Lab No Imprint. Rumble. 3. I'm gonna go E-Temp. And hold. Yeah, I'm just a bit worried about them going Molten Rain or Charmaw the following turn. Hence why I didn't want to tuck that Emrakul. We have 6 types in yard. 10, 11, so we can K-command. We have a sweeper as well, which is good. Arena of Glory. And if we can just land the Emrakul, it should more or less be GG's. Flage. ETB trigger targets. In response, sack will pass. Alright. I kind of wish I had that Myco spawn. EE. K command. Ramp and XL from yard. 2. And done. 6, 10, 12, 13. So we do have Emrakul next turn if they don't interact with my yard or my mana base. Paying cost, discharge, sack. And hold. Fetch 14, surveil land, looking for another Flage. Bombardment to yard, 2 in hand. And Molten Rain, rough. One in hand, 15, 14, draw, Talisman. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Lab, no imprint. Talisman, hold K return. And hold. One in hand. Static Prison. In response. Nope, they will go after the Talisman, which is correct. Draw. Malevolent Rumble. Trinisphere is not doing much at this point. We could go Talisman of Curiosity. Utopia Sprawl is also an option, but I think we go Chrysalis. Actually, Chrysalis doesn't get us there. It will, actually. Yeah. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One short. No fetch. Static Prison to 1. Land, passing, and draw. K command. In that case, we'll hold K command and K return. And draw. Static Prison trigger. Paying cost, Ocelot Pride, ATBs. Put a pause on end step. X equals 3, so it's +1. Sowing Mycospawn, World Breaker, Forest. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14, 14, 12. The alternatively could go 7. So I'm actually going to go bottom, top, and top. And draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No sweep. And that should be GG's unless they specifically draw into a Static Prison. Bone scoops it up. We'll take the win. we'll be back for match number 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4 on the play for game 1. Keep it. It's a little bit awkward, but it is workable, especially if it is, let's say, energy of 20% of the meta being it. I mean, it's definitely not outside the realm of possibility. But Jukabog, target you, and pass. And pass. Love to see a soul land off top. Well, it's basically a temple, I suppose. Draw. Mega Spawn, shock. And let's hope they don't have a spell snare or force. Force, Philagi. So this is Goryo's. Yeah, this hand's looking grim. Marshflat's Fetch, Surveil Land, Meticulous Archive. Nope, Shadowy Backstreet. Okay. It's still Goryo's though. The Philagi kind of gives it away. We'll pass. So I need a temple off top. Put a Delta passing. Draw. Chrysalis doesn't cut it. We pass. Yeah, I mean, the keep was risky. We knew that. If that resolved, he would have been in a good position. Tated Indulgence, pitches, Atraxa. Do you have the Goryos to finish it out? I mean, if Atraxa hits board, there's not much in the way I can do to interact. Frog or Goryos? Goryos. Yeah. I mean, we could try and fight through it, but I'm not confident. I'm not confident at all. I don't think we saw an Ephem there. So, unless they have an Ephem in hand, Atraxa will go into exile. Thing is, they have Goryo's ending Solitude Plains. Combat 7, down to 11. Do you have Ephem? You do not. Okay. I, once again, need a temple. For green. I think they're just going to prismatic ending it, if nothing else. If they have another Goryos, though, that's going to be rough. Actually, I think they kept Goryos, didn't they? Yeah, they did. So they're going to Goryos again. So we're down to 4. Still a prismatic ending. There's the Ephem. We're going to concede. So this is Goryos. Vengeance. Let's take a look at sideboard. Consign to Memory's not doing much. Dismember's kind of meh. Wayscape Battle Mage isn't bad here, arguably. I think they sometimes do run Harbinger. So maybe Dismember is necessary. Wayscape, cut the return, cut the Ghost Quarter, cut the Gemstone, keep the Karn. Yeah, we can run like this. Unfortunately, we no longer run Jailer or Cage. To be fair, Goryos is a small percent of the meta. So it makes sense not to right now. If it does grow, then we can always pivot. I'll play for game 2. We're going to mulligan. Yeah. Not much better is the problem. We'll keep. Done. Commercial district trigger. Temple top. We really need that last game. And pass. Flooded strand. Passing. Once again, we force check. No force. There's Emrakul. We'll just go E-temp. And hold. In an ideal world, we drawn to a Soin Myco spawn. Either that or a K command, Meticulous Archive. Got the Shrine to Yard. At least it wasn't Atraxa or Goryos. Or Atraxa or Grizzlebrand, rather. Flooded Strand, hold. Draw. Wooded Foothills, fetch. Breeding Pool, shock. Null Drifter, evoke. You have a consigned to memory. You do. Pass in full. We'll hold Dismember. Undercity Sewers trigger resolves. Overgrown Tomb. We're getting lucky on these top decks. There's no way for them to Goryos this turn, which is good. Blue Gaze. Surveil. And if they have a land plus Goryos and they hit a target, we're in trouble. They do not. 3 cards on top. Interesting. I mean, there you can't Marsh Flats. 5, 7, we'll go World Break. Draw. World Break, target Sewers, pass. Fetch, so 3 get shuffled up. Do you have consigned memory? Swamp. Interesting. So they wanted those cards in their deck still? Tate Indulgence? Okay. Atrocity Yard. Pass. Watergrave Shock. They have the Goryos. They do. There's Solitude, Consign. Notably no Ethem. So they'll probably need to grab Consign to consign the trigger. Prismatic Ending, Solitude, Polluted Delta, Tainted Indulgence. Interesting. I'll take the 7 down to 10. Solitude. Exile, World Breaker. Up to 22, down to 15. Goryos. Alright, draw. Running Catacombs. Fetch. For Forest. World Break. Only 1 white source. We'll go after the Archive. Blue. Consign. Interesting. assigns the body. 7, 8 next turn. We'll pass. Flaji. Whiff. And draw. KGC. Does KGC resolve? Subtlety. Pitch Tainted Indulgence. I'll keep Karn on top. Clearly that's a threat. Hugin Lab. No. Imprint and hold. Fetch Polluted Delta. In Eland. And hold. Falaji. Whiffs. Cost. Or not. Combat. 1 down to 13. And draw. Karn the Great Creator. Minus Karn. Yes. For Tormod Script. Cast Tormod Script. And hold. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Too short of the break. And hold. Hit Karn, hit Karn. Yep. Not much to say there. Passing, draw. Really? And we'll go red. Plus Karn. And run it back. So we'll lose Karn here. Not the end of the world. Marsh Flats fetch. Find the plains. You could dismember one of the Falaji, but I don't think it's worth it. See, what I realized I should have done before I cast the Karn the second time is I should have returned the World Breaker tucked underneath Lab. That would have given me enough, because I would have 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, 4. I unfortunately misplayed it. It's a bit of an unintuitive line, admittedly. Draw. Talisman. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, hold on. 5, 7. The only thing is if they have a counter spell, we're kind of short. And I want to hold out the Dismember anyways. Alright, the Watery Grave. And hold. Otherworldly Gaze resolves. Atraxa and Flats to Yard. And passing. Draw. Cast Talisman. And combat. Falaji takes a hit. And hold. And draw. Go after your swamp. The Jukabog's already in the yard, unfortunately. And Bone Scoops up. I'll take the win. Alright. We are going to want the gemstones back and to cut Emrakul. Because they normally run Emperor Bones as well. I do like the Wayscape Battle Mage just because if they do land, let's say the Atraxa. 2, 3. Let's see. What makes his hand better? Utopia Sprawl? That's kind of about it, is the unfortunate truth. I mean, I guess a Malevolent Rumble K command. So 4, 8, 11. Fine. Marsh Flats. And draw. Lab. Now he's going to play Lab right away and give them information. So E-Temp pass. Fetch Surveil land, looking for Goryo's or Atraxa. Keeps it on top. Pass in full. Fetch Marsh Flats. I'm gonna guess a frog or Falaji. I'm gonna say frog. There's a frog. Would love to see a K command. And draw. E-Temp. I will play the E-Temp and hold. End step. Pitch Atraxa. Well, that's a problem. I mean, they would need to call our bluff that we don't have a K command X2 in hand. Bold move. Because if I had it, you would be absolutely blown out, but I don't. We pass in full. Late to dinner with the fresh hell. Huh. Interesting. They whiff on... Oh, they do have EFM. Yeah, they found it. Shit. Yeah, I'm in trouble now. Down to 11 lethals on board. EFM Atraxa. There's Force. Do I have an out here? No, I don't, right? Because all they need to do is just pitch the remainder of their cards. And they'll still be able to pitch 3, float the frog. They have force as backup. And prismatic ending, flooded strand, otherworldly gaze. Draw. Karn won't cut it. Yeah, I needed a K command. We whiffed. I'll concede. I mean, that was... You have to admit, though, that was a bold move on opponent. I was representing K command X2. If I had that, I'd be able to exile the frog, exile the Troxter from Yard, and they would have had nothing they could have done. Rough. Alright, well, we'll be back for match 5. Alright, and we're back for match 5. On the play for game 1. 9 hits off the top, and that's pretty much it. Mulligan. Yikes. Not much better. 8 hits. Keep it. Drop a Chrysalis. At least get the dig one deeper with the commercial district is my thought. I mean, I'll even take... Utopia Sprawl wouldn't be enough, though. You really need a Soul Land. Commercial District, trigger, Forest, we'll take it still. What I want to see, mind you, but... Pass. And passing. Misty Rainforest, pass. Fetch. Surveil. Feel like Storm. Sink in the Stupor, maybe not. Sink in the Stupor. Thundering Falls? Nope, it is Storm. Okay. So I desperately need a Soul Land off the top here. Because they have the Row. They have a Ritual. They can be off to the races. Breeding Pool tapped. Draw. Talisman's not it. Pass. Alright, let's see if they win on turn 3. We pass. Scaling turn fetch. Steam then shock. Cast Row. Do you have a ritual? You do. Do you have an impulse draw? You do. Whiffs on the impulse draw. Okay. Do you have another impulse draw? Opponent's Tinkin. The problem is the other Row. So even if they get the Row off board, then they still have a backup. Why did it take them so long to think whether or not they're going to impulse draw? They impulse draw. Lose the flip. Ritual. Again, do you have You have the ritual, do you have an impulse draw or a past in flames? So now, past in flames, impulse draw, or your routes. Actually, no, I guess past in flames doesn't cut it. This is the flip. Do you have another impulse draw? Medallion. 2 cards in hand. And passing. Okay. Draw. E-temp. Turn too late. So I could go Chrysalis K command, but I'm thinking we just go K command. So that way we can set up for Karn the Trinosphere next turn, would be my thought. Just casting Karn doesn't do enough right now. You'd have 4. I guess we could cast Karn and just have it on board. Yeah, we could do that. Well, actually, yeah, okay. I think I like this idea. So we're going to ramp Exile. For Ral down. KGC into Tormod's Crypt. That way we avoid a Piff. And hold. And hold. 3 cards in hand. Ral cost 1. Land. That was from exile. Still 3 cards. Fetch, Surveil. Yep. Trigger. Keeps it on top. Preordain. Resolves. One top, one bottom, draw. Resolves with next turn we play Writhing Chrysalis minus Karn into Trinosphere. Ral resolves. And passing. Draw. Myco. You could also Myco. That's another thought. I think we will Chrysalis. Trigger. Minus Karn. Yes. We also could Karn EE for 2, but they also have Medallion, so I think we go Trinosphere. If they didn't have the Medallion in exile, I think maybe EE for 2 would be reasonable. But we're just going to Trinosphere here. And pass. And hold. I can only cast 1 spell as of right now. Paying cost. Medallion resolves. And draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plus on Karn. I'm gonna kick Myco. And we want to just put Jukabog. Yeah, we'll just put Jukabog now. Attack with Chrysalis. down to 10. Bloodstained Mire down to 9. Steam Vents tapped and pass. And pass. I think next turn we just go Karn EE for 2. Consider their options. Wins the flip. I mean, you could flip. Chooses not to. That should be your only cast for the turn. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. We need 5. So 8 minus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so I don't think we can Mycospawn and EE. Draw. Goes quarter. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 minus 5 is 4. Doesn't cut it. So I will minus card. Yes. EE. 2, 3. Done. Sunburst 2. 1, 2. EE. Combat. This is 6 damage, down to 3 lethals on board, and opponent scoops it up. Alright. Win for game 1. So we want Dismember, Trinisphere. Let's take a look at the sideboard guide. Ruby Storm. Wastegate Battlemaid, Dismember, Trinisphere. And EE. So cut Karn in full, cut K Return in full, cut Ghost Quarter, cut Cyrus 7 Deaths, Writhing Chrysalis, and run it back. And then if we go to game 3, we'll cut the Gemstone for a Chalice. On the draw for game 2, it's not a great hand. What are our hits off top? Pretty much only Trinisphere is the problem. Even then, we can't cast it until 3. So I think we need to mulligan aggressively here. Like, even if I had a Wastegate Battlemage, actually, I guess it's... No, it's only really 4 hits, because, yeah, Wastegate if they play Medallion. I guess 3. 5 for Dismember if they play Ral. Those are some rough odds. I'm going to mulligan. Here's the Wastegate, but only 1 land. You'd need a Lab off top or a Forest off top. That's 13 hits. It's not bad. 13 hits we'll keep. Drop the Ugin and run it back. Arid Mesa, passing, draw. Ugin's Lab, tuck the World Break, Talisman of Impulse, and pass. I would love to see a forest off the top, because with a forest we would then be able to either bounce or exile. But I guess we have the K command for 2, so no matter what, we should be able to either exile Rao or exile the Ruby Medallion. My escape coming in clutch once again. I really like the card. I really do. It has been performing way beyond my expectations. Preordained to yard and pass. Paying cost, Reckless Impulse. They're the pass and Flames consider. Draw. Verdant Catacombs. Fetch Verdant Catacombs. Go Breeding Pool, Shock, Utopia Sprawl for red. And hold with the K command. Alright. And if they have Rao, I mean, I feel like they're looking for a reducer here, right? Either that or they had one, or have one, but wanted to play around removal. Red, blue, Rao. Rao resolves. Do you have a ritual? Ritual. In response. In response. Ramp and exile. We telegraph this pretty hard. At that point, we pass in full. Lose the flip. Ritual. Do you have another mana reducer? Wish. Passing. 2, 4, 5, 6. Short of Breaker unless I draw into a temple. A Mycospawn would be nice. Another Breaker would be nice. Trinisphere, of course. Yeah. Past in Flames goes to exile, paying cost. What? Noxious Revival? Huh. Targeted Preordain. Draw. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're short, I'll hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can World Breaker next turn if we want or need. Preordain resolves. Once again, they're looking for a reducer. Land. On top, on bottom, draw. But a pause on end step. Return World Breaker to hand. And draw. Wooded Foothills. Fetch. For a forest. World Breaker. Sanctum. Target Thundering Falls. Float blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna say yes. And we'll grab Sowing Mycospawn. Just want to keep the mana light. And pass. Fetch. Surveil. Thundering Falls, as expected. Puts it to yard. 3 cards in hand. Next turn, we'll kick the Mycospawn, grab an E-Temp. Manamorphose resolves, it's mana neutral, draw a card. They play Medallion, or even a Ral, we'll just bounce or exile. And I think regardless we're playing the Mycospawn. Manamorphose, mana neutral, draw a card. Land for turn. 2 in hand, shock down to 13. Yes, no matter what we're casting the Mycospawn, the question just becomes whether or not we kick it. Because, like I said, they play Ral, play Medallion. We're going to play the Wasescape. Again, 2 cards in hand. Past in Flames doesn't cut it. What could you have here? Sync is fine. Just trying to buy time. And passing. Okay. And draw. Well, that's gonna suck for opponent. So we Mycospawn, kick, Thundering Falls. Soul Land. Bajuka Bog, target you, so even a Past in Flames won't save you now. And pass. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Reckless Impulse. Preordain. I think we just World Breaker here. 1 top, 1 bottom, draw. And draw. Ugin. This way they would need a ritual. Oh, Jesus Christ. I clicked on the World Breaker instead of the Soin Mycospawn. How's it done on me? That I was just playing too quickly. Should have verified. Ritual. Medallion. Impulse. Whiff. Land. E-Temp. Kick. Battle Mage. Medallion down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Short on Emrakul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Short on Ugin. Go to combat. Alright, lethal damage is on board. Surveil land if you have it. Steam Vents. Shock. For what? Into the Flood Maw. Yeah, I can't cast it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I could have. Friends Resolve, Medallion, Wish. Medallion. The thing is, if you cast it, we just exile it. Yeah, I didn't realize I could have recast the World Breaker after Enter the Flood Maul. Why did it sometimes place the creature or the land on the left, but then other times on the right? I'm not sure the rhyme or reason, but it always confuses me and always almost makes me, like, as you saw earlier, click differently. Wonder why that is. Either ways, we got there, even if we did make a few little misplays. So that there is going to be the end of today's league. That there's a 3-2 record at the end of 5. Again, another respectable result. I do think that I probably could have converted this to a 4-1 had I played the Blink matchup in match 2 a little bit differently in game 3. I think I was getting a bit aggressive with the Ugin. I thought that it was the right play, though in retrospect, given that they had 2 mana up, I should have played around the Consign and played the the Sire 7 Deaths instead. That way we could have played around Consign, it would have resolved, it would have applied pressure, gained us life, blocked, etc., 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 right? Would have required them to have a Solitude to deal with effectively, and we could always have casted the Ugin later after opponent had utilized their resources. So, a mistake there. Otherwise, solid 2-0 wins. Solid wins against Energy. Our loss to Goryo's game 1 variance was not in our favor. Game 3, pretty sure I took a risky hand as well. So yeah, it is what it is there. But otherwise, solid wins. Cannot complain. Energy being the most played deck, I feel very confident into, so I'm not worried about that matchup. Yeah. Karn, again, coming in clutch in a few scenarios against Goryo's, being able to grab the Tormod's Crypt, against Ruby Storm, being able to grab Trinisphere from the side. So in both those instances, Karn felt great. So I can't complain with Karn's inclusion. I think 3 Karns, cutting 1 Chrysalis, 1 Malevolent Rumble, 1 7-mana value spell has been good so far. So I think I'll probably keep with that. Again, especially with the rising play rate of Basking Brood Scale and Belcher. Let's actually take a look at that real quick. How are we looking on the last 7 days? Because now it is actually 1 week since the release of Final Fantasy. Belcher at 7.6, Brood Scale at 3.8, so 10, 11.4. So, I mean, 11.4, it's down a little bit from 14% in the last couple days. Titans climbing back up. Zoo is still up there. But, I mean, 11.4 is not bad. Energy is actually down to below 20, which is kind of insane to think about. But right now, the top 5 decks, Boros Energy, Belcher, Zoo, Titan, Blink, which I feel like we're pretty well positioned against everything except for Titan. Titan's just a really tight matchup that's hard to navigate. So that one will be a bit interesting. Prowess has kind of shrunk a bit, but Trinisphere is still good between Prowess and Storm, and even Energy, as we saw. Trinisphere can just be hard for them to deal with effectively. Neobrand still, it's shrunk significantly. It's now down to 1.9%, which is good, especially with the rise of Grixis control. Also, I should probably restate that the second most played deck right now is arguably Blink. Between the Orzhov and Esper package, we're looking at 8.3, which is the second most played deck, so if you're going to a large event, I feel like Blink might be a major consideration, which does feel like Dismember's right in that case. Yeah. Interesting. Well, a lot to think about. I mean, I have plenty of time between now and Vegas in November to kind of adjust. And not to mention, there's like 2 or 3 sets between now. There's Edge of Eternities, there's the Spider Man set, and then like a week before the RC is the pre release for um, Last Airbender. I'm really hoping that one is not allowed to be played during the main event. Otherwise, that's going to be really rough. Whereas at least with Spider-Man, which releases in September, that gives me September to October and October to November, so like 2 months to really figure out the meta and what the deck needs to look like. But at least as of right now, pretty happy with where the deck is. That being said, though, that there will be the end of today's video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback. It is always appreciated. For as much as I hope that you'll learn from me in both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers, which will allow me to start saving up, or which will allow me to start monetizing these videos, which will allow me to start saving up towards a stream PC so I can stream live over on Twitch as well as record over on YouTube. In the meantime, though, if you do want to support me monetarily, you can do so over my Patreon, where you get early access to my YouTube videos as well as any updates I make to my deck guides. But with that being said, folks, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!